Hey guys, welcome to Wednesday of Holy Week, first week of April, AD 33. And thanks for being with us the last couple of nights. And I hope you enjoy tonight as we watch Jesus on another day as he's setting his face towards the cross. Let's worship together.
How great the chasm that lay between us. How high the mountain I could not climb. In desperation, I turned to heaven and spoke your name into the night. And through the darkness, your loving kindness tore through the shadows of my soul. The work is finished, the end is written, in Jesus Christ, my living hope.
Who could imagine so great a mercy? What heart could fathom such boundless grace? The God of ages stooped down from glory to earn my sin and bear my shame. The cross is spoken, I am forgiven. The King of Kings calls me his own. Beautiful Savior, I'm yours forever. Jesus Christ, my living hope. Hallelujah, praise the one who set me free. Hallelujah, death has lost its grip on me. You have broken every chain. There's salvation in your name, Jesus Christ, my living hope. Hallelujah, praise the one who set me free. Hallelujah, death has lost its grip on me. You have broken every chain. There's salvation in your name, Jesus Christ, my living hope. Then came the morning that sealed the promise. Your buried body began to breathe, and out of the silence, the roaring lion declared the grave has no claim on me.
Came the morning that sealed the promise. Your buried body began to breathe. Out of the silence, the roaring lion declares the
Welcome back to Table Talk. And Wednesday of Holy Week, it passes a little bit quieter than some of the other days according to Scripture, but we do know that the Gospel writer Luke tells us that the attentions of the crowds every day during this week, from Sunday and Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, and even through the rest of the week, the attention of the crowd began to grow. And it didn't grow in a devoted sense, like they knew exactly what was going on, but it grew in a sense of, hey, this guy is different, and this guy's doing something that we've never seen before, and we want to stay close enough to him to kind of know what he's going to do on this Wednesday. So Jesus had, by Wednesday, he'd become somewhat of a little bit of a local celebrity. So every day, Jesus did the same thing during this week, on the first part of the week at least, and he went to the temple, and every day he would go to the temple to begin, and he would teach messages from God's heart, and he would teach messages of God's love for the people. And the religious leaders, they really didn't know what to do about this. They knew that they were in a tough spot because on one end, they could arrest Jesus and go ahead and put this whole thing into motion of putting him to trial for claiming to be God. But if they did that, they knew that because of his popularity during the Passover especially, that they would attract a lot of attention from Rome. And they didn't want this attention because they knew that they were always one step away from Rome shutting down the authority that Rome gave them to kind of operate as Christians under the radar as long as nothing got back to Caesar, long as nothing got back to cause any big disturbances or ruckuses. So the leaders of the day decided among themselves that they would push back arresting Jesus till after the Feast of Unleavened Bread. That was what this whole feast was called, was over on Thursday. Their hopes were that the city would go down back to the normal size that it always was, and it would no longer be 8 to 10 times the normal size that it was during this feast, and they were hoping they would arrest Jesus and nobody would really care at that point, and Rome surely wouldn't care as long as it wasn't getting back to them. So they pushed it off a little bit. But also on this Wednesday, it's the day that Judas stood before the high priest and he offered Jesus up to him. He basically sold himself for what we'd later know as 30 pieces of silver, and he gave Jesus over, that we'll see later on in the week, to the Roman authorities. Judas, my whole life, I've given Judas such a bad rap, but the more I started thinking about him, the more I thought about there's been a lot of times in my life that really and truly I offered Jesus up for the sake of some other things. Now, obviously, I didn't physically offer him up to be put on the cross, but my sin has. And it was my sin that held him to the cross. On this day, as Judas stood before these religious leaders, Judas did what so many of us have done so many times. And he put fame, and he put riches, and he put wealth, and he put security above the person of Jesus and above the relationship with Jesus. So today, as you read in Matthew and also in Luke today, as you walk through these questions today, and I just want you to put yourself on the scene. Ask yourself what you would have done that day. And ask yourself what you're doing right now. Is your family holding Jesus high? Or is your family one step away from really selling him out? Especially during this Holy Week this week. Man, let's give Jesus the attention. Let's give him the worship. Let's give him the position that he so deserves. Thanks for being with us tonight. Look forward to hearing how these table talks are going, how these missional moments are going, and what it's looking like even in some of these kids' activities. God bless you.